Okay, so I'm sorry I'm really late with my video from last week. I just moved into an apartment and I have been really busy. I know last week's topic was how PCOS affects my mood and my relationships and interactions with people. Um, so my PCOS is high on the testosterone side of things and has been for a while. As a kid growing up, like I was pretty much, mild mannered unless, you really had to piss me off to get a reaction. But once I got to reproduction age and I started having hormone shifts, I definitely could tell that my anger levels got higher and it was very quick for me to get irritated with people. And now that my testosterone is off the charts, as my doctor likes to keep reminding me, my moods would get severely out of hand. I could go from polite, calm conversation to just raging bitch in no time. And it definitely has an effect on me interacting with everyday people. I really feel bad for people who think catcalling at me is a good idea, or whistling, or saying crude remarks, or derogatory terms and thinking they're funny. I pretty much, go into anger mode like nothing. As far as my personal relationships, there are days where I'm a lot more sensitive to things being said to me, or I'm a lot more combative if I've had a long day, plus, no energy, no sleep, feeling off in my diet, or having a hormone surge. I can be pretty hostile. My relationship with my boyfriend hasn't really been affected by this, only because he's not really around a lot to see it. And the times that we have spent together, if I'm feeling frustrated, he definitely, gets the brunt of it because he's the person who has to put up with me. And I'm thankful that he does, because a lot of people wouldn't, and a lot of guys would definitely get pissed off, and so would a lot of women. Especially if only one of you is going through the PCOS. I feel a lot better since being on all my medication and taking B12 to keep my energy up and trying to get more sleep, even though this week it's been hard to come by because it's my boyfriend's exam schedule and I've been copy editing and proofreading and all that crap you do for the person you love. But I'm going to get back on schedule this coming week. I used to be told all the time that, I was bipolar, I was depressed, I had borderline personality disorder, and now, since getting the diagnosis of PCOS, all of those diagnoses that they gave me have changed. I used to feel completely crazy all the time because I just could not make a goal, I could not make a plan, I couldn't stay focused long enough to do anything. But now I'm not really big into antidepressants because I just don't know what they do to my brain chemistry, which is already altered because of the testosterone and the low estrogen and no progesterone. So I really don't like putting anything in my body that messes with my neurochemistry as it is. So I really try to just use natural ways, making sure I get to take a nap, making sure I get to the gym, making sure I'm eating enough fruits and vegetables, making sure that I am taking an iron supplement. I don't like pharmacology, I don't like pharmacies, I don't like those kind of things. I barely wanted to take birth control. Because I went to a women's college and, I spent an entire semester in a women's health class basically learning how birth control, while effective and great for us as far as our reproductive selves go, it's not the best thing for your body, because you shouldn't be mimicking a period. You should be having a natural one, which in our case, it's hard to do that as it is. So there are days where I feel a lot more sensitive on birth control, not just emotionally, but also my body in general. But all in all, my mood swings are a lot more stable these days than they've ever previously been, but it is a conscious effort on my part to work on my mood swings, or to tell someone when I'm having an off day, or that I'm feeling really crappy, or I'm in a bad headspace. I'm a lot more upfront with that now that I'm older than when I was a teenager and starting to go through this. And then I just thought I was angsty and, goth and whatever. We also received a question from someone about the excess hair growth that happens with PCOS. I myself personally have it. It started off being really like peach fuzz. It was always sort of like a running thing in my family about us being Irish. And, you know, most Irish women have sort of this light glow of blonde hair. And mine started off blonde and I didn't have any problem with it. But as the PCOS symptoms got worse and my hormones progressively got more and more out of control, my hair started to darken. And now it's pretty noticeable. And I, like many of the women who have PCOS, you know, did the plucking, does the shaving. I can't afford, you know, electrolysis treatment because it's just way out of my price range right now. You know, private school, broke, just rented an apartment, so it just can't be done. I had personally never told anyone about it previously. I always just hid it, like many of us do. And then when I started dating my boyfriend Adrian, he showed up one Christmas out of the blue, had no warning he was coming, and nobody bothered to tell me so I could go through my very high maintenance beauty protocol, if you will. And he was just here, and like the girl in the question asks, is what if we're fooling around and he touches my face or he notices it? This will inevitably happen. And that's exactly what happened to me. I mean, Adrian did kiss me and touched my face and noticed it and asked me about it, and I told him very plainly that I have something. I mean, I hadn't even told him that I had PCOS, really. I told him that I had some strange symptoms, that I was getting checked out. I didn't go into what those symptoms were, and I didn't go into what the diagnosis was completely comprised of, but I had to obviously tell him then that, you know, with PCOS, I do have excess hair growth. I try to treat it the best way I can. There are going to be days where I'm not going to want to do that because your face gets irritated. I mean, because let's face it, who the fuck wants to shave every day? Nobody. And it gets tiresome for me, and having a boyfriend shouldn't negate what I like to do, because frankly my face needs a break from all that shaving. It doesn't like it. I'm fortunate in that he lives in another state, so he's not around all the time. I mean, that will be ending come the next 2 months because he will be here all the time, so he's going to have to get used to what I go through to look as attractive as I possibly can with this horrible side effect. And I know as women that we are completely self-conscious about hair growth as it is, because we're raised in a society where everything has to be plucked and waxed and shaved and, you know, constantly done, otherwise we're not seen as attractive, or we have no, you know, sexual persona. I say fuck that. I mean, Frida Kahlo ran around with a damn eyebrow running straight across and a mustache, and everybody thought she was the hottest thing walking. And maybe that was because she was a very successful artist. I'll never know. But I like to adopt her sense of personal identity, and that this is not my fault. It is something that happened to me. I did not choose to be this way, but I am not going to choose to hide in my room or not have a relationship. I mean, and there is no way to treat it. I mean, I take spironolactone to help control androgen. I use Vanica to put on my face after I shave or after I wax to slow the hair growth process, which I definitely suggest doing, but it's not cheap. I pay, you know, $85 a tube or something for that, like that. So you definitely have to be committed to doing it. And, I mean, you just need to be straight up with your boyfriend. This isn't your fault. It's something that happened to you, and if he loves you or cares about you in any way, shape, or form, he's not gonna let this change what your relationship is. But hiding it and feeling like you have to sneak around, that's not gonna make you feel any better about the situation or about yourself. So if you own it, you know, go out and be loud and proud about it, which is what I did. I went for years without cutting my hair off, even though I love short hair, because I had hair growth all over my face. And now, this past 6 months, I've had short hair. I said, fuck it. I want to have a mohawk. I want to cut my hair off. I want it to be short. And I'm tired of hiding behind the fact that I have hydrism. It is what it is. And I've been feeling a lot better since I've been doing that. So, I mean, I hope this works out. And I'm sorry that my video was late. And I hope you all had an awesome weekend. And I'm getting internet Wednesday, so I will be back as per usual and not filming in my weird location as I'm currently sitting. So, talk to you soon. Bye.